Run away, I'll carbon beam, knock your legs off. Shot your wrist, had a standoff. Hit him in the spine, knock his dreads off. My wood is cold blind. I didn't land the red the most. Tugging in my roof. Ride with a T-shirt. I heard he shot. Turkle make a beatbox. He made that shot. Roll his throttle. Had him last. Jerk gon' make him beatbox.
Okay, next style, my homies gang style. My money long like beach towels. They judging me, but I ain't on trial. I'm a hot boy, through belly mouth. My flow hard like it's around. I take it down till she tap out. So I'ma call you Mr.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are excited to be back. It's a brand new episode of Chokeslam Radio. I'm Carson.
And I'm DRW15.
And since our last episode, a lot has gone down in WWE wrestling. So we have plenty to discuss today. Off the top of your head, DRW, what are you most excited about and most upset about out of all of the recent occurrences that have happened?
Yeah, Carson, I couldn't agree more. Even since WrestleMania, there's been a ton of stuff to go down. I want to bring up last night, Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley had to give up her belt, Mommy. That was very sad, disappointing. She was attacked by Liv Morgan, and due to her injury, she has to give up the women's championship belt. So that was a tough blow. Obviously sad for us big Mommy fans, but also gonna be interesting because, as we were saying after WrestleMania, she looked dominant. I don't know if there was any women in the WWE that were gonna pose a real threat to her, but now she's gonna be out of the picture and the belt's wide open. And I don't know who the clear contender is to take the belt. So we'll have to see.
I know, and the WWE should be ashamed of themselves right now to let this happen, to let the champion be attacked like that ruthlessly last week, and it just led to like the worst thing possible. And for them to just take away the title like that, like, how long is she actually going to be out? This injury must be pretty bad for her to actually lose her title. And it just doesn't seem fair. Because it's not her fault. It's the WWE's fault that they allowed this attack to happen, yet Mommy is the one being punished.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it didn't even happen in a match. She was attacked. I know Liv Morgan wanted her revenge because she was out for a while due to an attack last year, but that's still no excuse. And I think the WWE could have done more to protect Mommy and wouldn't force her to just give up the belt like that. It's disappointing to see. And we're sad for Mommy for sure.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you that I think there's a little bit of I don't know. There's like, do you think if Cody Rhodes was attacked like that, they wouldn't have let that happen?
No.
They would not have let anyone. So why is it that the women's champion, they're just going to let her get attacked like that? And I mean, the security staff was horrendous. Like, they really, like, WWE has all this money coming off of WrestleMania, yet they don't want to spend it on buying a decent security team. Like, it's just a shame.
Yeah, I know you've worked security before, and you need to take your job very seriously because it's your job to protect those superstars in the ring, and especially the women's champion, someone as powerful as Mommy. You got to do whatever you can to protect her from an attack like that. And those guys didn't step up to the plate, and now the WWE is suffering, but now I think more than anything, Mommy's suffering because of it.
Exactly. And a lot of people are wondering, who is going to get the title now? But I think the better question is, who cares? Now that Mommy's gone, like, nobody's going to care about women's wrestling anymore. It's just a shame. Like, I know I'm not going to care, because like, there's really no one who could face her. I think the only other person who's probably worthy of becoming women's champion right now is Naomi.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We didn't even get to see a real fight. We didn't get to see someone actually contend for the belt. So I don't know. I think until Mommy comes back, whoever has it knows that they're not the real champion. And once Mommy comes back and she's healthy, I see her retaining the belt pretty quickly. So for however long she's out, whoever has the belt in the meantime, everyone's going to know that that's not the real champion, you know?
Exactly. And I mean, it was a bad night for the Judgment Day altogether. Like they have really been struggling recently. Like I know Damian Priest got the belt, but did he actually win it? You know, like, do you think that if Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre fought each other both healthy, do you think Damian Priest would really beat him? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So long to find the right time to cash in because I think he knows that he had to find a perfect time when his opponent is badly injured, or else he wasn't confident in himself to win it or else he probably would have cashed in a lot earlier.
Yeah, no, I think this is a real blow for Judgment Day. Mommy was obviously their leader. And I've seen stuff on social media that they were trying to recruit Logan Paul to Judgment Day. But I think, I don't know, without Mommy, I don't know if Damian Priest is the real leader. There we go. Shout out Prime. I don't know if he can step up and be the leader that Mommy was. As you said, he does have the belt, but he hasn't really proven anything. And, Judgment Day has kind of taken L after L recently.
Especially last night.
Yeah, no, they did not look good. And then some cheap shots after the match in both matches. But yeah, they tried and failed multiple times. Damian Priest is the only one who didn't. He still has the belt, obviously, but he's going to be fighting Jey Uso. And before last episode, I said I had my money on Damian Priest, but now I'm not so sure. I'm not going to lie. I'm riding with.
I don't know about that because another group that's been facing a lot of trouble lately is the Bloodline. And not just the Bloodline, but specifically Jimmy Uso. And you could tell that last night, Jay was distracted. He was thinking a lot about his brother because even though they are enemies, they still really care for each other and they still love each other. And you could tell that Jay's mind is on other things right now. Even though he got the victory last night, I don't know if he's going to be able to bring it all into his big match against Damian Priest.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation that he's in because I know they interviewed him before the match, and he said he was trying to tell Jimmy that the Bloodline wasn't good for him and he should have left. So obviously, I think he still is at least thinking about Jimmy, and he obviously saw the attack last week. And then before his match, Cody Rhodes, offered to help Jay out, and he kind of said no, he wants to do it by himself. So we'll see if he really wants to do it by himself, or maybe in the back of his mind he's hoping that Jimmy will come back and team up with him again. But yeah, as we saw, he turned down Cody Rhodes' help. So this will be a huge match coming up between him and Damian Priest.
Yeah, I think that match could really go either way, but there's a lot on the line right now for Judgment Day because if Damian loses that title, then they actually have nothing left. A couple months ago, they had pretty much all the titles. And now they're down to the final last wire. I mean, pretty much everyone in Judgment Day, besides Damian, who didn't fight, lost last night. So they're not looking as strong as they used to. No.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point that I brought up. I was a little bit worried when they said they were trying to recruit Logan Paul because I know he's a big personality. I don't know if he would gel with the Judgment Day and with Mommy as a leader. But now that she's gone, maybe they push even harder to get him to get a new strong leader. I'm sure Damian Priest wouldn't love that, but Logan is the only one from before WrestleMania who still has his belt, and is obviously, a rising star and doesn't really have an alliance. So I could see why they would want him, especially now more than ever with Mommy gone. So
yeah, they need someone to step up to the plate and take over as leader. And I think Logan Paul would be great for that. But at this point, would the Judgment Day be a good move? Like, you have to think from Logan's point of view. Like, the Judgment Day is looking weak right now. Does he really want to join that group? I don't know. I mean, he could. I know he's pretty good friends with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and they both just won. So I think if he wanted to join a group, it would be better to make a group with them. They would be a pretty dominant trio. Everyone in that trio would have a group. So if I were him, that's what I would do. I wouldn't go to Judgment Day.
Yeah. No, it is an interesting situation that he's in, because I think people are starting to realize that he is a superstar and they want to form an alliance with him. So I think it's really up to Logan right now and what's best for his career moving forward, because even if he does join Judgment Day, it could be a temporary thing just until Mommy comes back. But I think there are already cracks within Judgment Day, and I could easily see that, falling apart. So, might not be the best idea for him to join. So I think that there's definitely options for Logan at this point. And I don't know who his next fight is either, but I'm excited to see him back. But yeah, we haven't heard much from him since WrestleMania.
I mean, he just beat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and they were pretty much teamed up against him. It was pretty much a 2-on-1. So, I mean, if he can beat both of them, then he's pretty much – I can't think of a lot of people who are really worthy to fight him at this point. Maybe Roman Reigns, since he just lost his title, he could maybe go for that, but I feel like he's kind of above that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Roman, with the bloodline breaking up, and now The Rock is there as well. So we could see a match with The Rock versus Roman. We could always see Roman versus Cody again, and then Roman now is beef with Seth Rollins, so it might be some time before Roman comes back, but the bloodline's broken up and he's got a little bit of beef maybe with a few different guys. So we'll see which storyline he chooses to pursue. And if he tries to get back in with the bloodline, or if he wants to take his own path.
Yeah. Speaking of the bloodline, there's a lot going on right now. And we both seen this already, but I wanted to play a quick clip that happened last Friday, and we're going to break this down real quick. So let me bring that up real quick. And let's take a moment to watch this.
My brother, I love you. I love you too. Oh no, who the hell? Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God, wait, do you know who that is? That's Tamatonga. That's the son of Haku, who has been wrecking shop in Japan for years.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like the bloodline has a lot going on right now. Kind of in a similar scenario as Judgment Day. Because if you think of Roman Reigns, he's sort of like the bloodline equivalent of Mommy in the Judgment Day. And now that Mommy has to step down, Roman Reigns recently lost his title, and he also has not been around a lot recently. Like last week, he wasn't even there. So somebody has to kind of take lead of the bloodline. And I think Solo Sikoa realizes, like, hey, I mean, I beat John Cena. I'm pretty good. I seem like I'm the only one really trying to take this seriously in this family. So I want to be the one to step up and really bring the bloodline back to what it was before. And he's bringing in other members of the family. So I have no idea what's going to happen here.
Yeah, they're definitely building it up for something. That's why I think I could see the Usos teaming up, fighting Solo and Tama in a big tag team match coming up. That's definitely possible. Yeah, The Rock said he'll be gone for a little while, but he said he's going to return. And we also don't know when Roman is going to return and who he's going to side with. So I think they're definitely building it up, maybe like a new bloodline versus old bloodline type of match. But there's definitely a lot going on here. And it'll be interesting to hear from Jimmy Uso and his thoughts on all of this, because he's in a tough situation now because, he turned on his brother Jay, and now he's lost the bloodline. So he's kind of on his own. So I could see him going to Roman, but as I said, it's hard to know where Roman is right now and how reliable he's going to be. He could go to his brother. And yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, Jimmy, he's kind of burnt all his bridges with Jay at this point. We saw in WrestleMania, he had one point where Jay was willing to, reunite with him. And he just used that as another way to trick him. So I feel like it's going to be really, really hard for Jay to ever trust him again. And not only that, but he's betrayed Roman and Solo in the past as well. So is there anyone who's really going to trust him at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a tough situation because I think Jay will see it as, I offered time and time again to ally with you, and you're only doing it now because the bloodline turned on you and you have nowhere else to go. So he knows that he's not the first choice. He knows that if Jimmy had his way, he would still be with the bloodline. So if Jimmy comes crawling back to him, I would at least be wary for sure if I was Jay, because as you said, Jimmy has been hard to trust in the past and is always looking for the next best thing. If it means burning bridges with his brother or whoever else, he's going to do it. So,
yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting to see what's going to happen with that family. One of the most dominant families in all of the WWE.
Yeah.
Anyways, there was some strange activity going on Monday Night Raw last night. We saw at the beginning when Mommy was, I was noticing when Mommy was talking at the beginning, there was like some glitches on the screen. And I noticed this last week too when I was watching. I thought it was like a problem with my TV or something, but I realized like this only happens when I'm watching WWE. But I started thinking like, oh, maybe like USA Network is having like some technical glitches or something. And then all of a sudden during this tag team match, when the New Day's entering, you see it glitches even more, and then a QR code pops up. So I have no idea what's going on here. I mean, I have a couple theories, but I don't know. What did you notice this last night?
Yeah, no. There was definitely some weird stuff going on, some glitches. I scanned the QR code and it plugged into there was like a weird code that you had to decipher, and it was a link to like a part of the WWE website with a pretty creepy video. Let me see if it'll let me pull it up here.
That's really interesting that it came from WWE's website. My theory is that it's a hacker, maybe trying to do, I don't know what his goal is, probably trying to get attention or sabotage the WWE. But if it's posted from the WWE's website, then if it is a hacker, then that means he has access to the WWE's website, which would be a pretty big breach of security. So if it's true, I'm worried about all the wrestlers. Hopefully their info doesn't get leaked, because I know wrestling fans can be pretty crazy. I would hate for, someone's address to come out or something like that. So I think it's interesting that the WWE hasn't acknowledged this yet.
Yeah. They haven't said anything about it. I've seen a lot of theories. Matt Hardy was posting stuff on Instagram and Twitter about it, so people are theorizing that Matt Hardy might make a return.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. But there's definitely some stuff going on. It's not by accident, I don't think. I think the WWE is teasing something. It's just we don't know what yet. But as I said, people are going crazy a little bit on social media about it, seeing Matt Hardy post stuff. So
I thought it maybe could have had something to do with The Undertaker, because ever since The Undertaker came back, all this weird stuff started happening. And I don't know, maybe him coming back like triggered some sort of, because, he's from Parts Unknown. So, or from Death Valley, or I don't know, but one of those places. But I don't know, maybe he brought something with him that's kind of haunting the WWE now. But I just think it's weird because, I am my expertise is wrestling. I am a wrestling expert, especially in the area of security. But my other expertise is paranormal occurrences, and it go like different types of spirits are known to manipulate technology. So that could explain the glitches, but I feel like if it's able to get on the website, that's kind of outside of the range of like a spirit. Like a spirit can't hack a whole website and like post links and stuff. Like maybe it might be able to like shut down the website or something, like, or like cause a glitch, but it's not going to be able to post a full web page. So that's what makes me think that it's some sort of hacker.
Well, it could be a little bit of both. As we know, the Undertaker, is definitely part human, but he also is, undead. So he definitely has some connections to the spiritual world. So I don't know if it's him, or it could be some other new superstar that, has connections in this world and worlds beyond us, but regardless,
Wow.
it'll be a crazy reveal when that happens, because since the Undertaker, we really haven't seen anyone with connections to the underworld or some other world like that. So,
well, I was also thinking one of my other theories is that maybe Finn Balor is involved with this, because he's known to summon demons in the past. So possibly maybe, since he just lost his tag belt, maybe something sort of like, maybe he triggered something from, the spirit realm, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Finn Balor might be behind this.
Well, that might be what the Judgment Day needs in order to turn things around, because how they stand right now, they're not looking so hot. So maybe some supernatural powers will turn things around for the Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's crazy. It'll be interesting to see if WWE is going to do anything about this. I mean, it's strange that honestly, I think it's a smart move that they didn't say anything about it, because if it is a hacker, that's my theory. They're obviously just doing it for attention, because why would you just be saying like all these like weird like codes and stuff? They're trying to freak everyone out and get all this attention. So it's very smart. The WWE is very smart, by not saying anything about it, because that would just bring more attention to it. They even got Jeff Hardy talking about it. I mean, the hacker's doing a good job so far, but it'll be interesting to see behind the scenes. I don't know what the WWE is doing to handle this. Like, they're probably freaking out right now. They probably are hiring the best cybersecurity experts in the world, and it'll be interesting to see if this hacker is going to continue doing these hacks or they're just going to shut it down.
Yeah, no, it's it definitely puts the WWE in a bind because they're, this is supposed to be the start of a new era, and all of a sudden, there's problems with their broadcast, weird stuff going on. I'm sure Triple H doesn't know what to do. So I agree with you that it's
I'm sure he's freaked out right now.
Not a good look for the WWE. The WWE universe has noticed it. I've seen stuff all over Twitter about it. People are freaking out. So Triple H has got to get this under control ASAP because, the focus should be on the superstars and the people in the ring. And if this hacker's causing distractions, and as you said during Mommy's announcement, there were glitches on the screen. That's not what we want to see, So
yeah,
something's going on, and it's not good.
I know. I was really excited for that match last night too. I mean, I love the Creed brothers. They're one of my favorite tag teams right now. I love the New Day. They're like one of the all-time greatest tag teams. I don't like DIY, but I mean, they're not bad, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. They're you know what? They're good. The fact that they beat those two tag teams last night shows that they have what it takes. Yeah. But I was so excited for that match, and then once these glitches started showing up, I totally lost focus. I was looking online, seeing like what was that? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was just I couldn't focus on the match after that.
Yeah, too much going on, and as I said, it takes away from the wrestlers and the entertainment that we want to see. So it's just bad all around. But hopefully they get this figured out one way or another soon. Whether it's a hacker from the outside or someone within the WWE universe that's causing a disturbance. I just hope that we get to the bottom of this.
Or maybe from outside the WWE universe. I know there's a lot of competing companies, a lot of other wrestling federations. Yeah. Maybe they're trying to, infiltrate via the cyberspace, try to take over the cameras and stuff. Who knows? Oh, and I am seeing we do have some comments. Listening while running training to fight Jake Paul, he meant. Interesting. So yeah,
we were talking about who Jake Paul's next opponent would be, or Logan Paul. I guess now we know who Jake Paul's next opponent is. That's interesting. Paranormal Awakening is taking the boxing route instead of WWE. But
speaking of boxing, I've been in the boxing gym myself.
Yeah.
I was training before the show. So I don't know who I'm gonna fight yet, but if anyone wants to challenge me, I'm game. I'm ready to take on anyone. Heck, I would even fight Undertaker. No, that's too. I wouldn't want to box Undertaker. But maybe I would box Cody Rhodes. I would beat him for sure.
You think you beat Cody Rhodes?
I mean, speaking of Cody Rhodes, though, this guy's champion, but what has he done since he's been champion? This guy's, he hasn't fought anyone yet. If you look at, I guess it's only been like a week, but I don't know. I'm not impressed so far. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy for him that he finished his story. And he's made appearances on all the shows so far, which is cool. But I agree, at some point he's gonna have to start defending his belt. I know there's a match coming up, AJ Styles versus LA Knight, and the winner of that is gonna face Cody. So that's something. And I get, you don't want to win the belt and just let whoever come challenge you right away. They've got to prove it. But that's also interesting because, like, what was that match at WrestleMania for between LA Knight and AJ Styles? If they're just gonna do it again, and this match is for fighting Cody, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really.
Yeah, I feel like that WrestleMania match between LA Knight and AJ Styles, I don't think that really like settled anything between them. I'm pretty sure they still hate each other. And I mean, yeah, interesting. But there's one more clip that I think we should take a look at. This happened at the end of the show last night. And I'm just going to say I'm shocked. But let's play the clip.
Since knocking off Gunther at WrestleMania. And now the celebration with his family, of course, his wife. And wait a minute! Gable from behind with a German suplex. He just lifted Sammy's hand. A show of respect. In front of Sammy's wife, Chad Gable has attacked Sami Zayn.
Jeez.
I mean, what we just witnessed and what the whole world witnessed last night was probably the worst sportsmanship I have ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, I understand Chad Gable's frustration. They said he's never won a solo belt by himself, and maybe he thought last night was the chance. You know, Sami Zayn was probably still recovering after WrestleMania and wanted to show out for his home crowd. But yeah, I don't know. That was too far, uncalled for. After the match, Sami Zayn saw that he was upset and, you know, shook his hand and tried to console him a little bit. And then, you know, went to go celebrate with his wife. And next thing you know, Chad Gable's attacking him, you know, going after that ankle that's still recovering. Now Sammy might be out for a little while with an ankle injury, you know. And what is Chad Gable gain except people hating him? So that was ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, for anyone to do this is awful. But Chad Gable is a coach. And, you know, a coach has a duty to be a good role model for his students. And to think about what the Alpha Academy must be thinking watching this, you know, Otis and Tozawa, like watching this, seeing their coach do the exact opposite of what a coach should train their students to do. It's just a horrible decision by Chad Gable. I'm sure he's completely regretting it, but I mean, this is an action he took that you can't really take back. Like, he has chosen his path at this point. I mean, I don't think the WWE is going to get rid of him because, you know, he's an Olympic athlete. You know, he's a good, entertaining fighter. They'd be losing a lot of money by getting rid of him. But at this point, he's just a danger to all the other wrestlers, and they gotta keep a close eye on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just a bad look because, you know, he represented our country in the Olympics, as you said, and now he's out there attacking other superstars, you know? So it's a bad look for him as a coach. It's a bad look for, you know, the Olympic wrestling team. And then it's a bad look for the WWE to let someone like that in the ring, who's clearly a little bit unstable. He let his emotions get the best of him. And, you know, now people are going to hate him. As you said, he's a coach and people should be able to trust him. But when you do that on live TV and attack someone in front of his wife and in front of his hometown, you know, you can't really recover from that. So
I know. Think about what all the Canadians are thinking, looking at this USA Olympic wrestler do this in their own country. They're probably thinking, oh, like these Americans, like it's just such a bad way. He not only like represents his students that he's coaching in the Alpha Academy, but he represents our country. And for him to do this, especially in another country, in Canada, which is a country that we get along with, like, it's just not a good look on like international relations. Like, this is just bad. Yeah.
You know, you win with pride, you lose with pride. And he didn't lose with pride, and it reflects badly on him, and it reflects badly on, you know, all of us. You know, I'm not going to say I'm a Chad Gable fan, but at least I respected him as a wrestler and as an American and as someone who at one point represented our country, and for him to do that, it's just it made me angry, and it made me sad.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's in another country. Canada was nice enough to host the WWE and put on a great show, and that's how he treats them, So just a bad look all around.
Yeah, very disappointing to see that coming from Chad Gable. We have a question from the audience. Ask him about the Trick Williams RKO from tonight. What did you think about that?
The Trick William RKO.
Sorry about that. Trick Williams, I believe, is a WWE wrestler in NXT, which was on tonight. I actually missed his RKO because I was at boxing, but maybe we could react to that right now.
Yeah, if we could find that, because
I'll work on pulling that up.
Familiar with any WWE superstars named Trick Williams, but I did not.
I mean, he's probably like, I don't watch NXT because personally, if I'm an MLB fan, I'm not gonna watch the minor leagues every night. I want to watch the major leagues.
No,
but
one other thing is, real quick before the clip, the WWE draft is coming up. So, maybe we'll see some guys from NXT make the roster, or, we'll definitely see some sort of movement. So that's exciting. At least we'll definitely react to that. But yeah, it'll be an exciting draft. And there's a lot leading up to that. A lot of, as we've talked about, a lot of, groups that may be breaking up or new alliances being formed. So the draft will definitely shake things up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is a draft for Raw and SmackDown, obviously, but this is also a draft for, this is a draft for the Judgment Day. This is a draft for the Street Profits. This is a draft for the Alpha Academy, if that's even a thing anymore. But, since they're shaking things up, people are moving around. People might have to split up their factions, or maybe have new options for people to join their factions. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah. And as we said, almost every group that went into, or individual that went into WrestleMania with a belt did not come out with one. So we have a bunch of new champions, groups that are falling apart. So I think things could really get shaken up in this upcoming draft. I have no idea what to expect, but I do expect some serious movement and some craziness for sure.
Yeah. So are there any other matches that or any other events that you would like to discuss right now?
I mean, we could talk about the Cody Rhodes fight real quick, because I know we didn't really get a chance to last time, and I know you were at WrestleMania to see.
Yeah, the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was live there in person, and let me tell you, this was the craziest thing I've ever been at. Like, I mean, obviously, we got to see Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, probably the greatest rivalry of like the decade in WWE, and that was awesome to see them fight. And then all of a sudden, all these other people came in and started interfering. We had well, I mean, you've all seen the match. We had Jimmy Uso, we had Solo Sikoa, John Cena, Jey Uso, The Rock, and then everyone heard that bell. Bong. All the lights went out. I'm telling you, I lost my voice, and everyone else in that stadium lost their voice after that happened. And I'm telling you, that was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced.
Yeah. I was watching live on TV, and Carson, obviously, as he said, was there. And when we heard that bell, I went crazy here. Carson FaceTimed me. I think he was screaming. I think he was crying a little bit. It was an emotional time for everyone. One of the greatest WrestleMania fighters ever to make a return, to chokeslam The Rock and to help Cody finish his story. It was unbelievable. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but when you hear that bell, when those lights go off, everyone just loses their minds, because everyone knows what that means. And I'm sure The Rock was quaking in his boots, and he said he's going to take some time off, but he will return. I would take some time off if The Undertaker was after me, so I can't blame him there.
I stopped thinking. I completely forgot about that. The Rock wants to fight Cody Rhodes, but The Undertaker wants to fight The Rock.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen, Undertaker, he can strike wherever. It doesn't have to be in the ring,
No.
So I know Rock is planning on filming some big movie, but, The Undertaker could interfere with that.
Yeah, Rock better watch his back no matter where he is. Fast and Furious movie. The Rock might be driving a car, next thing you know, Undertaker's there. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the scary part, is that The Undertaker obviously prefers to show up in the ring, but he's watching you, and if he's got beef with you, he'll show up whenever, wherever.
Yeah.
When he does, you're not winning that fight. So
I mean, obviously I've never been targeted by The Undertaker, thank God. But I can just imagine that if The Undertaker was after me, there would be no escaping him. Because I'm thinking even when I'm sleeping at night, he's going to be in every single nightmare I have. And that just sounds terrifying. And I know Rocky's focused on Cody Rhodes right now, but he's just saying that. He's definitely, you saw the fear in his eyes at WrestleMania when The Undertaker showed up. And it's almost like he was standing right behind him, and he knew when that bell went off, he knew what was going to happen, but you could tell he was just trying to deny it. Oh, he's not standing behind me. He's not standing behind me. But then it got to the point where it's like, all right, I've been stalling too much. I got to turn around and face this guy. He's right there. But I think that's still what he's kind of doing right now. He's still pretending like The Undertaker's not after him, But you can tell things were a little off about him after WrestleMania when he faced Cody. He wasn't the same final boss that he had been before, because he faced the real final boss at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why The Undertaker showed up, because The Rock was calling himself the final boss. And The Undertaker knows that he's the real final boss of WrestleMania. If you want to be a WrestleMania legend, you got to make it through The Undertaker. And yeah, I agree. The Rock slowly turned around, trying to act like the tough guy, but you could see in his face when he saw The Undertaker, he was scared. And The Rock can act like a tough guy for as much as he wants, but when you're staring face to face with The Undertaker, you're not a tough guy, and everyone can see that. And I think that might have hurt The Rock's ego a little bit, and maybe that's why he's taking some time off. Maybe that combined with the fact that The Undertaker's after him, but I can't say I blame him. He was taken out in the ring by one of the baddest MRFers in the WWE. So,
yeah. Well, WrestleMania was just great this year. That final match, people are saying it's the greatest match of all time. I don't know. I don't think you could ever call something the greatest of all time right after it happened, because you need time to process it and really think about it. So I'm not going to go ahead and call it the greatest of all time, but I will call it the greatest match that I've witnessed of all time, in person. That's definitely certain. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it ranks up there as a goated wrestling match?
No. I do think that they did a lot of things right with the nostalgia and bringing back, our childhood superheroes, John Cena and The Rock facing off, and then obviously The Undertaker, as we talked about. But I don't know. There's been so many great matches throughout history. All the Undertaker matches at WrestleMania, obviously, and then countless others. So to say that it's the greatest match of all time, I don't think we can take it that far. It was cool to see Cody finish his story and Roman's reign, but at the end of the day, I can't put it up there as one of the greatest matches of all time. Maybe with time, as Cody becomes more of a legend, we'll look back at it and say, this was the start of Cody Rhodes being one of the all-time greats, and look at it a little bit differently. But I agree that we need some time to process it. And people were hyped to see all of our childhood superstars show up in the ring again. But no, not the greatest match of all time.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. You mentioned you're going to wait to see how legendary Cody becomes in the future. I mean, I don't really see, like, Cody finished his story, but by doing that, he finished his story. His story is over. He just beat Roman Reigns, who was one of the most dominant champions probably since Hulk Hogan. Like, what is he going to do now that's better than that? Nothing. Nothing's going to top that. I think he's at the top of his career right now, and it's just going to go downhill from here. Like, who else could he beat that would be a greater moment than what he's already done? I mean, it's pretty much over for how I don't see, like, he's beat Brock Lesnar, he's beat Roman Reigns. Like, what's left? Yeah,
well, is that on Cody Rhodes, or is that on the WWE for not giving him another superstar that's worthy of taking the belt? Maybe he fights The Rock coming up. Maybe he fights Roman again, but as you said, he's already beat Roman, so it's not proven a ton there. But he's going to have to defend his belt. That's what champions do. But I agree that there's no one really now for him to beat that would be greater than people that he's already beaten. So part of it is he's done well to finish his story, as you said, but part of it is that there's no one really in the WWE right now that poses a real threat to become the new WWE champion. So,
well, do you think that Cody could have beat Roman if it wasn't Bloodline rules? Because everyone thought going into Bloodline rules it would be an advantage for the Bloodline, but I would argue that Cody really had the advantage here.
Yeah, no, he absolutely did. And Seth Rollins acted as Cody's shield. I know Seth Rollins is part of the Shield, and he came out in his old Shield gear, and Roman had a chair ready to hit Cody, but we saw him turn and take out Seth Rollins instead, and that allowed Cody to recover and take out Roman. So I 100% agree that if it wasn't Bloodline rules, if it was a one-on-one, I don't think Cody would have stood a chance. And we've seen that in the past. I know he did beat Roman once, but past WrestleManias when it was a 1v1. And even the night before when it was The Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, I think Cody looked a bit outmatched there. So
yeah,
without Bloodline rules, without all the help, I don't think he would have done it.
I know, like, it technically happens like a lot with sports events, but people think of like the final play. But there was a lot of things going on in this match that Roman Reigns was, he kind of got screwed over here. I mean, John Cena hit that attitude adjustment on him. Most people, once they get hit by that move, they're out. The match is over. Like, they're not getting up from that. Roman somehow was able to last like a lot longer after that. But the fact that John Cena came in and hit him with that move, I mean, the match could have easily been over just from that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Cody had John Cena and The Undertaker on his side, and that's what it took for him to win the belt, So, yeah, Roman, to even stay in that fight showed incredible strength by Roman. And that's what I'm saying, that it took two of the greatest superstars of all time to help Cody out in order for him to win, which, I mean, part of that shows that, those legends respect Cody and, see all the work that he's put in and wanted to help him out. So you can't fault Cody for that. But at the same time, it definitely did play a significant role in that match.
Yeah, so I could see Roman Reigns having an argument that he should be able to challenge Cody again in an actual fair match, because the only other time they fought each other one-on-one in a normal match, Roman Reigns won.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Oh, as we kind of touched on earlier, I think Roman's got a few different options here for who he wants to fight. Obviously, he could go back for the belt. He could go after The Rock. He could go after Seth Rollins, because they've had beef, and Roman obviously hasn't forgiven him for turning on him all those years ago. So whenever we do see Roman again, we'll see where he chooses to pay his attention. And I mean, whoever he turns on, I'm worried for them, because Roman's going to come back angry and with a vengeance. And
will he though? Because I don't know, because the message that Paul Heyman was giving on Friday made it seem that Roman was accepting his loss. You know, he's saying that the bloodline takes accountability, and you know, like, it's just strange. And Solo was not about that. You could tell.
Yeah. I mean, you can say all those things, sure, but once you get in the ring, I think things are different. And as we saw, Solo Sikoa was not happy and wants to shake things up. And Roman's out of the picture for a little bit. And you know, whenever he chooses to return, he's gonna want to take control again. And I don't think Solo's gonna want to give that up. So that's gonna be there's gonna be some beef in the bloodline for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how Roman handles the situation, and how Solo runs the bloodline until Roman gets back, because it seems like Solo is definitely trying to take control for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely at one of the craziest points in WWE history right now. There are so many different, championships that could really go to anyone right now, especially the women's championship. I'm excited to see what happens. Is there anything else that you want to bring up before we end this episode?
No, I don't think so. I'm excited for that Jay Uso versus Damian Priest match. That's going to be a big one. We've talked about that a couple times. And then we'll see Cody defend his belt for the first time coming up after LA Knight and AJ Styles fight. So some big matches coming up. But yeah, I agree that we're at a crazy point in the WWE right now, and this draft coming up is definitely going to shake things up as well. So we're entering a new era. It's exciting, and this is just the beginning. So
also, that you actually just reminded me of one more point I wanted to make. Not that long ago, only like a month ago, Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one match. So, I mean, I know it's going to be AJ Styles or LA Knight that's going up against Cody next, but I think that Drew McIntyre definitely, he wanted that other championship that no one really cares about, but I think he has a very good argument of going up for the big one against Cody.
Yeah. I know he's got beef with CM Punk, though, that he might need to settle first, because we've seen him, about to win a couple of matches, and then things go bad because he can't get over his beef with CM Punk. So I think he's got to settle that before he goes after Cody, or CM Punk's just going to come and blow that up again. One more thing is that Sheamus made his return. That was exciting to see. He was a little bit larger than we've seen him in the past, but I know he was recovering from an injury. So great to see the Celtic Warrior back out there.
I have a theory that he wanted to fight Ivar, so he didn't look as large in comparison.
Yeah. Those were two large men in the ring right there. But yeah, no, that was exciting to see him back because he's been out for a while with an injury. But I always get excited when I see that brogue kick or when he starts pounding on dudes' chests. That's always a good time.
All right. Well, to end this show off, we want to announce that we're going to be doing this podcast live every Tuesday. We're doing it on these channels for now, but we're planning on making another like separate account just for this show in the future. So we'll keep you updated on that. And the audience has a lot of great things to say about you, DRW15.
I know. Paranormal Awakening, thank you very much. I appreciate all the fan support. And another announcement is that we may be having guests on the show coming up. We may have some special guests offer their own insight about the WWE universe. We're not going to spoil anything more than that at this point, but we're excited to have some other people on the show that share the love of the WWE that we do. So
we have an all-star list of guests lined up. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a great couple weeks ahead of us, both for wrestling and for this show.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, make sure to subscribe to our channels, whatever you're watching this on, and
Chokeslam that like button, and
Chokeslam that like button, and RKO the subscribe. And also check out Scientific Researchers of the Unknown at SRO2.org. Anything else you want to shout out?
No, check out DRW15. We've been posting clips from our podcast on all sorts of social media. So if you see any out there, make sure to comment on those. And yeah, comment any suggestions for any WWE superstars you want to see on our podcast.
Yep.
We'll do our best to get them on here.
Yep. Share the show with your friends and family, and have a great night, everyone.